All right, Big D.
Ooh, don't call me that.
All right, so we're back, guys, on the IROC, back on the IROC motor. So we're getting fantastically close to putting this in.
If you say so.
We got kind of a late start this weekend in this, so we don't have quite enough time to be able to stab this into the car. It was kind of my hope that we could do that, but I don't think we have the time, and I don't want to rush it. So who knows? We may do it sooner. We are going on vacation here soon, so we'll have a little bit of a break in the action. But we got a few things that we can do to this today that's going to make this 100% ready for us to bolt in. So one of those is we have to get your accessory brackets mounted, and we'll talk about that, but there's something we have to grind away on the water pump. And we have your transmission cross member. We have a new transmission bushing for that, a new transmission mount. Because this one, I don't know if you guys can see this, clearly not sitting on the floor, you can't, but this old transmission mount, toast, done. It has left the chat, so we're not going to be able to use that one anymore. So we got a new one of those. But the cross member is pretty gross. It's all beaten up. So I think we can clean that up and maybe give it a quick hit of spray paint and be done. And we'll throw the starter on. Well, once we're there, it's literally, then there's nothing more really that we can do to this before it's inside the motor or before it's inside the car. So we'll be stuck because when we mate the transmission to the engine, we're going to need to have it hanging from the hoist. Okay. And so once it's doing that, we want to put it in. I don't want to leave it hanging on a hoist for too long, and I don't want to sit it on tires and stuff like that. So we'll be mating those right before we jam it into the car. If that's something that we can do this week at night, then I'm game. But I don't know, so we'll see. All right, let's get busy. So two of these bolts are going to mount to the engine. So these two studs here, these two holes here, go into this bracket. So if we line that up, you can see we're like immediately hitting. Can you see what it's hitting? We're hitting this boss right here. And that is just a boss. That's like way off in the distance here. So
I thought you were saying boss as in he's the boss.
No. So I'm going to see what we can't figure out here. Do you want to grab me, there's a paint marker, silver paint marker at the top of the toolbox, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Are you going to sign it?
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll put this here. Can you see from behind my shoulder, there's like, okay. So this thing needs to get cut off like all the way up here. Like just slice that whole thing off. That's a lot. But I think if we cut this nodule off, that gives us enough room for this bracket to get through. Okay. I'd rather cut this water pump because this is just a bracket. It's not going to do anything to the water pump. I'd rather cut this off than cutting your bracket because your bracket we'll reuse later. Okay. And we won't need that relief. But for here, it makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I guess.
You're like, I don't care.
I mean, it's not like anything's happening to that thing. It's not doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. I am all ear pro'd up for this one, shielded, because this is going to get loud and probably ugly. that seemed to work a lot faster than I thought it was going to. So yay me. Let me show you what I did. So we basically removed this whole ear that was on here. This was one more screw boss that was on there that you would need for like a power steering pump bracket on a traditional Gen 1 small block motor. But since this uses the bracketry for the serpentine belt system, it's getting in the way. So now, hopefully, we can get that on here. Declan is busy cleaning up threads. So he's chasing the threads on the bolts that will hold this accessory system in place. So as soon as he's done with that, then we can test fit this thing and hopefully thread it in place.
Wow, well, now you jinxed it.
So I think we're fitted. I think we're in good shape. Let's see. Yep, we're good. All right. So what we're gonna do is, we got 1, 2, 3 bolts that we gotta secure to this bracket to get this on. A 4th actually too. Can you hold this up there?
Oh, we're trying to get it.
All right, that's not going. I'm ready to chase that thread. See if this will hang. Oh, no, I guess I didn't even have that one in. All right, so we're gonna chase these threads a little bit. Do you wanna grab me that red plate that's against the wall? Careful. Don't worry about it. So this is a thread gauge. So you basically just thread this thing in here to find out which bolt you have. That goes in real easy. So that would be a 3/18 by 16 thread count. Does not go into the metric very easily. But it goes into that one easily. A little wiggly though. Fits like a glove in that, and since this is a standard motor, I think that's what we're gonna do. So 3/8 16. What's in here? And now I gotta go for my visual aids. What happens is that over time, like gunk and paint work themselves in there. You know, paint in the instance of us just having painted this thing. And so that gums up the threads. So we need to chase it out of there. This is a tap and die set. So these are taps, these are dies. If you need to fix the threads on a bolt, you would use these. If you need to fix the threads in a hole, you'd use these. So 3/8 by 16 course, that's gonna be over here. That is, yep, 3/8 by 16. So we don't have to drill a hole because there's already one there. So we're just going to start chasing this, and what we're gonna do is squirt a little WD-40 in these holes. Ooh, yeah, we definitely got gunk in there. It doesn't even want to get started. This thing is what you drop this into so that you can get some torque on it. So you just kind of start making little twists. Trying to get that inside. There we go. Now it's going. So you want to work it sort of both ways. So give it a twist back and forth. Yeah, there you go. Every once in a while you want to just work it back out to sort of take some of that gunk out with it. And that's basically chasing the threads. So we'll squirt a little bit of this scrap in there to get gunk out and go back in it. You can feel it when you hit, like when it gets tight, that's how you know you've hit threads that need to be cleaned up. So then you can just go a couple of twists and then back it back out and try in a little bit further. What it should feel like is if you were counting the twists, every time you hit resistance, if you back out like 2 turns, you should be able to go back in 3 turns. Or something like that. If you want, you can use this. Give it a crank, but you're just not going to get a lot of swing on it. So only one of those squares will fit. There you go. I know, it gives you a little stuck. You could also try to figure out which combination wrench will fit that. You always want to be careful threading them in because these things are designed to cut through new threads. So if you sort of force them, you can actually really screw up the hole. There you go.
Which way does it go? Maybe that won't work. I'll have to use
Near
this.
the box end, yeah, or the open end. Yeah, see how much paint and stuff is on the inside? You can see how much stuff was gunked up inside that cutouts of that thread. So that definitely had junk in the trunk. All right, so now you can spray that off with this stuff. Spray it off the screw over that way. And then I'm gonna check it with our regular bolt. Make sure it wants to go in. Like a dream. Nicely done, well chased. Should be another one up here too. See it? Nice. It was right above it, like just above it. Nice. All right. All right, so the bracket's on. All mounted, all we had to do was clean up that water pump a little bit. And this bad boy fit right on. So we do have to find a replacement bolt for this side because this bolt goes through the AC compressor, I think. And we're probably not putting that back on.
Okay.
But I'll take a look. Maybe we can actually use that bolt even without the AC compressor and I'll have it go through. We'll figure that out. Okay. So now I think the starter.
Okay.
And we can clean up the crossmember. Those 2 things.
Okay.
Cool. So Declan's current job is now cleaning that crossmember so that we can just give it a quick paint job. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna go looking for the actual mount. I have it somewhere. So the next step is going to be to clean that up with acetone. This is like the final clean before we're ready to spray. So get some paper towels and acetone in the can. So just kind of invert the can over onto that. So this stuff is going to help remove any remaining like grease that's on it. And it's not going to hurt you, yeah. I use it to wipe paint off my hands when I get it on there.
Oh wait, no,
Oh yeah, we had to do that when you coated yourself in the undercoating.
Yeah.
It was like the only thing that worked. So there's sort of two schools of thought on painting this stuff. One school is like, or one method is thinking that it always has to look great.
Just doesn't need to.
Exactly. The other method is just making sure it's covered so it doesn't rust so easy. And that's all we're going to be looking at here. So the way that I would look at this Declan, knowing that we're going to have to flip this thing, right, is how would you start it? Because you have to think about what's going to happen when you say, okay, I have to paint the other side. So would you want to start it like it is, or flip it over and start it like that way? Because you have to think about which side the wet paint's going to be touching. You know what I'm saying? So like if you spray
Will you wait until it dries to do the other side?
You can, but you still want as little surface area touching as possible because you're not going to wait until it's completely dry.
And then you do that side.
Right, because then you're going to have the least amount of surface area touching the cardboard when you flip it. That's what I would do too. Right, you should be good. This is just a Rust-Oleum Satin Black, which is like my go-to choice for any sort of framework or engine-based stuff. It's pretty basic, it's pretty cheap. Rust-Oleum, they have that cool novel. I would hit it like, you know how you did sideways stripes? Sideways strokes? I would do the other way now, go the long way, just to make sure you hit everything at the right angles. Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, so now if you flip it, hopefully it's only touching it like little points. Yeah. Not perfect, but again, just trying to keep it from roughing like mad. And now I do the same thing, do long ways from both sides, just so you get everything covered. Now from that side, there you go. Perfect. Now we just let that dry. Accessory drive's on. Starter on. Crossmember is painted and drying after being cleaned off. That is really it until we can put the engine together with the transmission. That I'm really hoping is something that we can do this week. Possibly tomorrow.
Because we can't do it the next week.
Yeah, so we're going on family vacation, so there will be a week where we're down, where we're dark. So apologies, but you know, summertime, I get to take vacations. So we won't post anything for that. So the hope is that we're going to be able to stab this in, because I was doing some thinking, and do you know what it is this weekend? This weekend is the anniversary of us bringing this car home.
Really?
Yeah. So we brought this car home. We brought the IROC home on July 5th, 2024.
Wow.
And I think we shot the first video that we ever made like the day after. And then we posted it the week after that. So when you guys are watching this video, hopefully, if that math makes sense, that's going to be the 1 year anniversary of our first video that we posted, which was the cleaning of the IROC. So kind of cool if we can make this episode when we stab the new heartbeat in place, right? That would kind of be a nice little balance. So that's what we're hoping for here. I hope it works. We'll see. Through the magic of editing, maybe this will be when we come back from vacation, but we'll see. But this was not a lot to cover so far, so we're going to take a break because we're done for the day. It's late in the day now. And then hopefully it'll be this week we come back at this and attach the transmission to this and then drop it into place. We are not going to use Mystery Mike on this one. So we're going to be at this on our own. We're going to have to make sure that I take it slow because as Mike says, I'm more of an arrow. I like to just go straight through and get stuff done, sort of no matter what gets in my way. So I'll have to be a little bit more contemplative and considerate this time around. But for now, dinner break, and then hopefully maybe tomorrow night back at this thing. Hopefully we can mate them up together and stab it in. So let's call it a night and clean up and nice work. To you too. Later. Right around here was about time for our family vacation. So we escaped for a few days, went down to the beach, and had a good time. And we wrapped up the week by doing something that we did 1 year ago. We managed to go to Cletus McFarland's New England 900 at Stafford Speedway on that Friday evening, and it was a blast. And Declan and I were remembering that 1 year ago, we were at this same race with me checking my phone constantly in amazement, watching how many of you were watching and subscribing our very first video, because it's been 1 year. 1 whole year since we launched this channel and put up that first video of us cleaning that dusty, dirty, dingy Camaro off in our driveway. It's been a crazy ride. We've got at least 48 videos in the can, which, if I'm being honest, I didn't really think I had in us. I didn't think we'd make that many videos in total before we sort of gave up on this thing. But you guys and your attention and your feedback and your comments and your views, it's kept us coming back. So we continue to make these videos, and we're going to continue to. But this event was a nice escape. If you guys haven't had a chance to go to any of the Cletus McFarland events, strongly recommend going. I know he has a bunch throughout the country. Maybe all of you can't make it, depending upon where they are, because they're not everywhere. But honestly, it's a really great time. The race itself is amazing. The Van Prix, watching minivans jump over ramps, absolutely amazing. It's the best, dumbest thing ever invented. And you get a chance to meet some folks. I got a chance to meet Derek Vieri again and thank him for being an inspiration with his Vice Grip Garage channel for what we do here. And we had just a great day overall. And we wrapped it up, came back home, and the next day it was time to start to get down to business again. But not before we got to see a pretty fantastic fireworks show at the event. Cletus really knows how to pull things off right, and this was really sort of an amazing show to watch. All right, so we're back from vacation, back on this again. It's now time to get this thing married up to the transmission and get this sucker into the car. That's my goal for today. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
It'll actually look like
a car.
like a car with a motor in it. So it's worth mentioning that somebody did comment. Sorry, I can't remember who you are, but you know who you are. Somebody did leave in the comments that we need to take that solenoid switch off of the transmission, the one that we put on the last video, because it's pretty fragile, and in the motion of us getting this thing into the car, it's likely that we're going to break that. And I think they were 100% right. Yeah. And like I said to Declan, now that I've heard that and somebody said it out loud, now if I don't do it and I break it, I'm a complete idiot, because I can't pretend I didn't know. So let's get this thing up in the air a little bit so we can take the weight off the stand. Then we can unbolt the stand, and then we can remove the stand and get the transmission lined up with this. So do you want to lift us? That's good. There's, I'll take these bolts off the back and then you can take the motor mount bolts off. Well, we had some trials and tribulations here. Camera got overheated because it's warm out and it was sitting in the sun. So we didn't get to film it, but it wasn't really thrilling. We just had some alignment issues with the transmission and the engine, but we managed to finagle and get them in place now. So now the flex plate is loosely mounted to the torque converter, just enough to make sure that we were aligned. We'll tighten it up once we get these connected. The seam on these is pretty tight because I can't get them 100% perfectly aligned. I can't completely get it smooth, but yeah, we're not pulling it together with just the bolts. We're just tightening up, so we should be good. You want to get the bolts on your side? I'll hand these over to you. All right. We're together. Now we've got to get the torque converter bolts mounted. So you want to come over here and see where they are because you're going to have to tighten them. I'll work the flywheel, get it turned over. I think you're going to have to do it over this side. That was the only way I could get access because the starter's in the way on this side. Good?
Yep.
All right, hang on. Tell me when the next one's accessible.
Stop!
Good?
Okay, maybe a little more. But teeny. Okay.
Good? Good?
Yep.
Okay, hang on. You nice and tight in there?
Yep. I think. Yeah. A little more.
More?
Okay.
So now we are all torqued down. I think we're basically ready to try to get this puppy in. Now let's see if we can start tipping this thing the other way. Oh, I can push it, so I'm gonna push the, can you push it through the other side?
Like, to that side? Or
Yeah,
what?
push towards me. There you go. Yeah, why don't I try to jiggle the engine around while you push, because that's likely to break it free. Nothing?
Oh.
Can't see why it would be giving us a pain. All right, let me try. Let me try bullying it. Oh, I see why. You're hitting the brake line, so we have to go through this way, I think. Yep, that's all it was. The flange of the bolt was hitting the brake line. I didn't see it.
Is this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was hitting it. And I was like, it'll be fine. No.
All right.
I trust Dad. He was right.
See? Never trust me. Okay, so we need probably, what do you think, 5/8?
No clue.
So, you should be able to see, I think. But these headers will just be able to pop right in. It's the nice part about getting the shorty headers. So, no need to have to move the engine around or put them in while we're wrestling to get the engine in. So, I'm happy just leaving this here. Passenger side is actually a little more crowded. But I think just removing the accessory bracket in the front, which is super easy, we'll take care of that. And if that doesn't take care of it, then the worst case scenario is we have to take the valve cover off. But between those two things, we can get this on no problem. So it's cool. We're all bolted in. I put the transmission crossmember in, which sucked because I was too lazy to raise this up. But now it's all braced, so I think you can let it down.
Okay.
Let's see what we do. Should be all supported. She's good.
There you go.
Cool. All right, let's get, we'll get these bolts off and then we'll get the hoist out of here. Oh, it's not too bad. Still got no drivetrain, so nothing's, no drive shaft. Yeah. This is so much lighter than my car.
Your car's basically like 100% metal.
Well, it's a bigger car too, just in general.
It is.
Cool. So that's it. Engine's in. I mean, we're still...
A lot more to do.
Yeah, there's still a lot more to do. We were way far away from firing it up. We've still got to manage to make a lot of things connected. The next thing that I'm hoping you can do this week, and I'll show you what I want you to do, is to peel apart the wiring harness. Because it's in all those covers.
I'll hit the covers.
And we need some of that. Well, it's good because you're going to take them off. So you'll take all those covers off and then you'll just grab the wires that we actually need.
Okay.
And I can go through that with you to figure out like how do we know which ones we need and which ones we don't. Because that's going to be an important part of us getting this back together, is making sure that we get the required wiring harness back in here without the ECU stuff or the ECM or whatever the hell it's called, the little computer brain thing that we got to get out of here. All right, sorry guys, camera died, overheated. So now we switch to the GoPro, if that looks goofy.
It probably does.
All right, but we're pretty much wrapped up here. So there's still a ton to do. I just started a list of the stuff that we need to do before we can fire this thing up. I'm calling it the IROC turn the key list. So that's the stuff that we have to take care of before we can get this going. I think we have most of the parts we need. There may be a few. We do transmission lines, transmission cooler lines. We don't have those. But I think most everything else we have and we can put in. We're in pretty good shape. So we'll be motoring along with the next steps. It's going to be progressive. So I don't think there's going to be like one big like punch. I think what it's probably going to be is that each day we're working on this, we're knocking several more things off the list. That's what my hope is. Until we can get to the point where they're all knocked off the list and then turn the key. So thanks for watching. This has been a year in the making.
Yeah.
We're a year out. I did not think it was going to take a full year before we got to this point. But I also wasn't expecting we were going to have to do quite so much with the motors and stuff. So, but I feel like we're on a pretty good path. What are you feeling like?
Final stretch.
Yeah, it's like home stretch, right? We've still got just a little less than 1 month before Declan can actually apply for scheduling his license test. So I feel safe that we're probably a good 5 to 6 weeks away from him having a license. So there's still a chance that we can get this going. And there's also maybe a chance I may take some time off of work between now and then so that we can spend several like quality days trying to pound this thing out.
Okay.
Because I think that's going to be helpful to us once we get a list going. So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out for the break while we were away on vacation. And until next time, keep throwing wrenches. Please like and subscribe and do all of the things. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.